Hello, I'm Cathleen Jeffrey. By now, most people are aware of the subprime mortgage meltdown, which has shaken everyone from Wall Street to Main Street. But while the Fed has been busy cutting rates in an effort to jumpstart the economy, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have been tightening their lending guidelines. And a new twist for home buyers in the market for financing a home they may have their eye on is that in addition to ensuring they can afford the home and have good credit and FICO scores, they may also need to be concerned with the location the home is located in, as some mortgage insurers are making lists of areas they consider to be in distress areas or declining values. If the area you are buying in is on this list, you may be subjected to stricter loan-to-value guidelines. At a recent Selectmen's meeting, Hull Selectman Juan DeVive raised the question if Hull may be on any such list, and if so, what could be done about it. I did a little research, and I discovered that Hull, along with surrounding communities throughout the South Shore, appears on the distress list for Genworth Financial. I contacted Mr. DeVive for this video to discuss his concerns. Senator Kerry's office also issued a response for this story.
Hi, my name's Ron DeVive. I'm a selectman in Hull, and read a recent article in the Wall Street Journal talking about blacklisting hitting home sellers, and it talked about several major mortgage companies that were tightening up on the underwriting standards, and they named several of them. Basically, I'm concerned about the impact that it would have on any community that was on this quote blacklist. If the mortgage money tightens up, it decreases the number of people who can get mortgages, and therefore decreases the number of potential buyers, which has an impact on housing values. So the question that I asked, I said I ran across this. I've heard anecdotal information, third party, nothing directly, that Hull may be on a blacklist, if you will, and I understand perhaps maybe it might be countywide. So I just asked the question that I'd like to have the board discuss it at a future meeting to see if they can determine whether in fact Hull is on such a list, or if there is such a list in Massachusetts, and recognizing that there was little a Board of Selectmen can do about it other than asking our legislative representatives to express their displeasure on it.
I'm Terry Sowers, and I'm a spokesman for Genworth Mortgage Insurance.
Talking to you today because Plymouth County in Massachusetts is one of the communities that has been put on Genworth Insurance's list of distressed devalued property list. Mm-hmm. Can you just explain what that's all about and how long it's been out there?
Well, let me start by saying that Genworth Mortgage Insurance is committed, and this is important, to providing safe, secure options for home buyers looking for a low down payment mortgage. But at the same time, we think it's important that we balance this commitment with prudent underwriting standards and current and projected economic conditions, as anybody who has read the newspapers over the past 6+ months know, are not the best in the mortgage industry. So we feel that it's important to evaluate the various loans based on current and projected market conditions, and it seems now prudent that we have tightened our underwriting standards to make sure that both we and, most importantly, the borrower gets into a loan that is the appropriate loan for that person under these conditions.
If a region makes it onto the list, such as Plymouth County in Massachusetts, is it something that's reevaluated over a certain period of time and they can somehow make it off the list?
We reevaluate the MSAs that are on that list on a quarterly basis. We do so using a combination of external data provided by economy.com.
Okay.
And internal Genworth metrics that include things like forecasted home price appreciation, estimates of home price decline from peak to trough in the various markets. If they exceed 10%, that's one of the things that we would consider as we decide whether or not a region is put on the list.
For this story, Bridgette in Senator Kerry's office issued this statement.
New estimates show that foreclosures will reach record highs again this year in Massachusetts. Thousands of Massachusetts families, including dozens in the Hull area, are inches away from losing their homes. Senator Kerry is committed to finding solutions to help them avoid foreclosure. He will also continue to do all he can to ensure that big mortgage companies do not take advantage of the little guy or target certain areas of the nation with undue restrictions. Senator Kennedy also responded for the story, saying, "It's outrageous that some mortgage lenders are now blacklisting whole communities as high risk and using it as a pretext to raise interest rates on home loans even higher for all borrowers." Mr. Kennedy went on to say that Congress has a responsibility to stop such gouging and guarantee fair lending practices for home loans.